So good evening all, thanks for joining. So in the last session, we have installed Citrix delivery controller and studio role, and we have created Citrix Xenapps and desktop site.
Right, sir.
So anybody have any questions in that?
Up to site creation, it is fine.
Thank you. So today we are going to explain about the site database information. So up to here we completed create and configure Xenapps and desktop site and installing the Citrix director role. Did we install a Citrix director role?
No, sir, that mission we don't. Studio and only.
So can you please confirm, Manu?
Sir?
Did we install director?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, I think we installed the director role as well, right? On the XDC machine, right? Delivery control machine.
In the delivery control machine, we install Citrix director also. Right.
Yeah, after that only we created the site, I think.
Exactly. Right. So while you're creating the xendesktop site creation, there are three databases are created. Okay. So one is site database, second one is configuration logging database, third one is monitoring database. Site, configuration and monitoring database. These are the three databases by default is available when you're creating the Citrix, Xenapp and xendesktop site. So what is responsible for each database? Let me explain in this video. So especially first the site database, whatever the site configuration currently running, all the information will be stored. And next, what are the session states? So whether session is connected, disconnected, so that particular session information will be updated in the site database. And third one, connection information, and who connected, when it is connected, where it is connected, so which machine it is connected, the complete connection information it will store. So these all three information which is stored on the Citrix site database, which is three information will be stored in the site database. Coming to the second one, configuration logging database. Configuration logging means an administrator, whatever the changes is doing on the Citrix site, that information will be stored on the configuration logging database, that is called administrator activities. Example, user is created machine catalog, administrator is created machine catalog, administrator is created a delivery group, created one application, given access applications to the user and removing some users. Any kind of activity in the Citrix site, the complete activities will be stored on the administrator, activities will be stored on the configuration logging database. And third one is monitoring database. So monitoring database, the session and connection information. So the user, when it is connected applications and desktop, that information it will stored on the monitoring database. By using the monitoring database, the director console, we can fetch the data. So how long the user is connected, any kind of issues, everything is monitored under the director console. So director is a monitoring tool from the Citrix, Xenapps and desktop side. So monitoring tool means The director can be used any for other tools and services? No. Only for Citrix XenApp xendesktop monitoring purpose, this tool is developed. This tool is developed. Understand? Any other question?
Sir.
1 minute. Guys, any questions on this database overview slide?
No, sir.
No, sir, carry on.
No, sir.
No,
Thank
sir.
you.
All good.
No, sir.
Moving to the next impact of database view. So in case if any site database, configuration logging database and monitoring database, if it is down, what is your impact? So this slide is very, very important. So in your production, if you get any kind of this kind of scenarios, you can consider that, okay, the site database is down, configuration logging database is down, monitoring database is down. You can easily consider that. You can easily identify that. So let me explain. Site database is down. If site database is down, okay, if site database is down, the administrator, not able to open Studio Console, the administrator unable to launch the director console. So if Studio Console is not open, if the director console is not open, okay, we can consider, we can create our doubt, okay, site database is down, but it's not 100% correct. Okay, what is the second check? If site database is down, users will not able to launch a new session. Users means what? End user. That they're trying to connect the applications and desktop from Citrix, they're unable to launch it. They're unable to launch it due to, we will get this issue. So what is the problem? Users cannot launch a new session from Citrix in case of site database is down. These are the two conditions if site database is down. But all cases you should not consider site database is down. If user is not launching the session, you can consider that you can sending a mail to client, site database is down. No. If entire users, all users, 100% users, if they're not able to launch the sessions, then you can consider site database is down, but parallelly you can open the Studio Console, Director Console. If that is not launching, yes, you can consider that site database is down. Moving to configuration logging database. Before moving to the configuration logging, any question on site database is down?
No, sir.
No? Yes.
Sir, one question, sir. The authentication will happen, right? Whoever the user is externally accessing the Citrix. So authentication will allow, but we cannot launch the session, right? Simply.
That's correct. That's the meaning. So authentication will connect, authentication will happen, but a launching is not happen in case of site database is down. Yes, you are true.
Good.
Next, configuration logging database. So configuration logging database we discussed, right? All administrator activities will be stored on the configuration logging. Which administrator activities? Citrix admin, whatever the task is performing on the Citrix Studio, okay? All the activities will be stored on the configuration logging database. Configuration logging database. Okay, but in case if the logging database is down, there are two things will happen. Okay, there are two things will happen. One is the mandatory option is there. Another one is a not mandatory option. Example, configuration logging is mandatory. Okay, configuration logging is mandatory. So user cannot, that means administrator cannot make any changes on the Citrix Studio. Okay, because of it is a mandatory. If it is a not mandatory, administrator they can do some changes, but the changes activities will not stored on the logging database. Okay, because it is a DOM. So configuration logging database, okay, if it is a mandatory, administrator cannot make any changes in the site because of it is a mandatory. If it is a down, if you are trying to do, it will store on the information, right? It will store this information on the site, right? But here, if it is a not mandatory, administrator can do the changes, but the activities will not record on the logging database. Any questions, Praveen?
No, sir. It's good actually. I understand
Good, right?
what is the concept. Yeah.
So next, monitoring database. Monitoring database, administrator cannot view historical data because of monitoring database keep on monitoring the sessions, right? If the monitoring database is down, how administrator can view the historical data about the session, about the user, about the desktop? Not possible. And administrator cannot use the studio and director console. So studio will not work and director consoles also will not work. Okay. So this is a monitoring database system. So site database and monitoring database, if both conditions, studio and directory cannot be used. If monitoring database, historical information cannot be viewed, and if it is site database is down, user cannot launch a new session. That's the only difference is there.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Right. So next, moving to localhost cache. As I discussed during the installation, localhost cache is different, and SQL database for site database, monitoring database, logging database is different. So localhost cache, it is available in the delivery controller. So it is available in the delivery controller, which is called as local cache. It is called as local DB. So wherever your localhost cache is running, there are two services additionally running on that machine, especially in the delivery controller. So one is config synchronization service, another one is a high availability service. Okay. See guys, you can see this message. Supplements does not replace, okay, SQL high availability configuration. What do you mean that? What do you mean that? So localhost cache also database, it just like a supplement, it is not a replacement of SQL server. I'll give you one best example. So if you go to the doctor, okay, and you have some sick, and doctor is identified, you have vitamins deficiency, okay, because of in your food there is no proper vitamins, that's why you are sick. Doctor was additionally giving the prescription, some vitamins are added in your medicines along with the vitamins. Vitamins are not medicines, for your information, that we called as supplements, right? So maybe you are taking that, okay, B complex vitamin is there, and one more tablet is a kind of multivitamin. So if that taking the tablet, all the vitamins if you coming, we should not eat. No, right? So we need to take a food, and supplements also we need to take. So that's the meaning here. So localhost cache is one of the services maintaining the local database, and it's just like a supplement. It's just like a supplement. What do you mean supplement here? In case site database is down, the localhost cache will replacement of site database activity. That means completely we are eliminating the database of SQL server. We are only running the localhost cache. It is not that meaning. Just example, take that medical example. The doctor prescription is only for supplement, not to escape. You should not take the food. You need to take the food along with the, you take the additional medicines.
Yeah.
They may here also. Localhost cache is a supplements. It is not replacement of SQL high availability configuration. SQL is separate. Okay. Most of the people are wrongly understand and wrongly projecting that. And most of the videos I have seen, I'm not commenting which videos are wrongly commented and which trainer is they commented like that. I know, I don't want to disclose that. Okay, everybody have their individuality, their experience. Okay, because of, I know, because of this a tough subject, and some kind of similarities are there, localhost cache and SQL services. Okay, So they are maybe wrongly understand. They'll be telling that if they are understanding properly, they'll not give a wrong information. They're understanding in a wrong way. That's why they'll project it. Okay. So most of the people, maybe I think Praveen, you already experienced in the SQL. Maybe have you heard this information previously?
Yeah, I think some video I referred you mentioned correct. I was thinking this will be acting as something like DR or something. If site database not available,
Everybody thinking like
is
that's not
yeah.
correct.
So
That's
now
not.
it is clear. This local database will only allow certain things, right? Maybe user session,
Very
site
limited,
database.
very limited
Yeah,
activities.
yeah.
That SQL
Okay.
complete job is not replaced by a local host cache. Okay, what
Okay, got
local
it,
host
got it.
cache will do in case of site database is down, during that time the connection failure is there, right? That will not happen. So even new session will get connected because local host cache will help the new session will get connected. But okay,
What if
local host cache is
LTSR is
helping
corrupted?
us, so we should not escape. Okay, we should repair the site database and make it up. It's only temporary. It's only temporary. Okay?
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yes or no?
What if local host cache is corrupted means
If
it is
local
down?
host cache corrupted, by default it is connecting to the site database only. There is not a problem. Every time it is connected site database. In your case, if local host cache is corrupted, that we can clean and we can recreate the local host cache. There is an article which is projected by given by Citrix that we can follow.
Okay. Okay, sir. Yeah, understand.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Then moving to the next, how local host cache will work. The local host cache with local host cache, without local host cache. That means, so right now the database is currently available. So how the session will get connected? User will be connecting to the storefront, and storefront will connect it to the broker service on the delivery controller. Delivery controller will connect it to the site database and fetch the information and launch the VDA. And the particular session information, the broker service will be updated to config synchronization service. On config synchronization updating to the second broker service, and secondary broker service updated to the SQL Express local DB. So actually in this diagram, this is not a SQL Express local DB. This is a local DB. The wrongly projected in this diagram. So that's why most of the people are understanding wrongly. Okay, SQL Express we are installed because of the local host cache. That is a wrong information. Okay. This is a slide, whoever they created the slide, this is a wrong. As per my experience, I don't know. Even I wrote many mails to the Citrix. They have not removed it. They are not updated anywhere. Okay. So I have clearly tested in my personal lab. Okay. Even I have uninstalled SQL Express and I have created the delivery controller. Local DB was created because of local host cache is an inbuilt product of a delivery controller. So that is not related to SQL Express. In our case, SQL Express which I installed along with the delivery controller for site database and configuration database and monitoring database. These three purposes I created. So in this diagram, if site database already is available, why SQL Express? It makes sense, right?
Right, sir.
Right? This diagram is wrong. This diagram is 100% wrong in my point of view. Okay. Whatever it is, maybe how they're thinking, how they projected this slide, I don't know really. Okay. So there is some documents, some slides are missing. Wherever it is mistakes, I'll definitely identify you. You please address that. Okay. And coming to this database outage, in case if site database is down, if when user is connecting to the storefront, the session will directly connected to the second broker service. Whatever the broker service is there, this is a delivery controller which is connecting to the site database. The secondary broker service which is connecting to the local DB. So your session will get connected because whatever the site database information is available, the information, everything is downloaded to the local database. So every 2 minutes, the site database information will be downloading to the local database. So as per Anu consents, in case local database is corrupted, so as a Citrix administrator, you need to repair it. You need to repair it and recreate the local host cache. Then again it will be re-downloading the latest information. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Good.
No more question? Moving to the next slide, in case during the DB outage, in case really the local host cache consideration, the SQL database is down. So during that time, these are the problems you will face. You cannot use the Studio and PowerShell cannot be used. No power management for your servers. Anonymous sessions. Anonymous sessions means everybody they connected is not correct process. Anonymous is not a secured way. So this is you can remove it. New mission cannot be assigned, cannot made during the outage. For example, if site database is down, administrator cannot assign a new mission to the user. And one more thing, automatic enroll configuration for remote PC. So remote PC, there is a concept is there. I will explain in the future classes. Remote PC is nothing but there is a physical desktop is available in the company. Through Citrix, you can connect remotely. Example, during the COVID situation, most of the people are working from home, right? The physical machine also, they can configure with the Citrix and we can connect remotely. That is called remote PC. But remote PC is a very tough configuration. Remote PC is a tough configuration. But it is a very, very demanding nowadays due to Corona situation. Okay. Before Corona and after Corona, remote PC, I don't have any experience. But right now, remote PC, I have a very good experience and example to explain. Corona is the best example for us. Okay. And next, alphabetical election process. Example, if the site database is down, if multiple delivery controller in the site, the first delivery controller based on the alphabetical order, which is the lowest number, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 is the lowest number, is a higher ranking. Okay, that will be elected as a master delivery controller. It managing the entire sessions through that local DB. So the delivery controller 1, delivery controller 2, delivery controller 3, all delivery controller have a local database, the local host cache. But which local host cache will respond to the connection after the site database is down? Election process will there. That is the alphabetical election process. Okay. Based on the alphabetical election process, which of the server, which is the highest version of delivery controller role, highest patching, okay, and the highest version of operating system, and the lowest number of ranking on the host name will be elected as a master delivery controller. And the next one is pooled VDI. Pooled VDI is a concept. Group of missions can be delivered to the end user. Group of missions can be delivered to the end user. That is not happened during the DB outage. Okay. So these are the considerations. These are the considerations. You should not call it as a drawback. డ్రాబ్యాక్ అంటే మీకు తెలీదు. నైట్లో నడుచుకుంటూ పోయి ఇక్కడ వెలుతురు లేదే అని చెప్పడం డ్రాబ్యాక్ కాదు, అది కన్సిడరేషన్. అంటే రాత్రిపూట చీకటిగా ఉంటుంది అని చెప్పడము అది స్టాండర్డ్ రూల్. అది నువ్వు టార్చ్ ఎత్తుకుపోవడమా లేకపోతే లాంతర్ తీసుకెళ్ళడమా అది నీ ఇష్టం. అది సో కన్సిడరేషన్ షుడ్ నాట్ బి లైక్ అ డ్రాబ్యాక్స్ ఆర్ నెగిటివ్ పాయింట్స్. కన్సిడరేషన్ అంతే. ఆర్ యు క్లియర్ వాట్ ఐఎమ్ సేయింగ్?
Yes, sir, I understand.
Right.
Sir, just a simple question, sir. So suppose considering a site, what is the minimum recommendation from your side, like the delivery controller? How many delivery controller we should maintain?
Minimum two, maximum depends on your number of mission catalogs, mission delivery groups you have created. So up to I managed 8,000 missions, the VDS, with 6 delivery controllers. Even 4 also, that should be fine.
Also, while configuring the site, we can add all the delivery controller, right?
Sorry?
While configuring the site, we can mention what are the delivery controller we have, that we can mention, right?
No, you should not mention like that. Whenever you creating the delivery controller, first delivery controller, it is the site creation. Okay. After that, any other server you want to add it to the existing site, you can install the delivery controller role. You can add existing site. Then two delivery controller. So like the third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, you can add it like that.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Don't worry, we will do that.
Yeah.
You are paying the fees for advanced level of Citrix training only. So slowly we will be teaching individual servers, then you'll go for availability concept.
No, sir. No problem.
Right. And moving to the local host cache consideration. So if local host cache, when you are running in the particular mission, we need to maintain some additional RAM. That's why your question. So 4 CPUs is required. Even 4 CPUs also plug into one socket. One socket means one physical processor, multiple cores, 4 processor you can assign to the machine. Okay. During the local database usage, the consuming the input output operations, so maintain the less load on the server. And 5000 VDA connections can be effectively managed. If in case site database is down with a local host cache, 5000 missions can easily handle. If more than 5000, yeah, definitely it will be a problem. So delay will be there. So local host cache by default available in the new installation after 7.12. Before 7.12 until 7.0, local host cache is removed. Before 7.0, that is a 6.0, 6.5, local host cache is available. But after 6.5 in 7.02 until 7.12, local host cache is completely removed. Again 7.12 re-released. Okay, how Cushy movie is re-released. Okay, same way the local host cache is re-released because local host cache option is removed on the 7.0. This activity will be taken care by connection leasing feature was released by Citrix. That is not effectively work. That's why connection leasing also available nowadays and local host cache is available. So nowadays local host cache only they are using in the all productions. Connection leasing they are disable it. Okay. And I will explain separate video what is a local host cache and what is a connection leasing. Separate video, not in this. So there are 2 important slides I'm going to explain. If site database is available, how the communication flow will be there. The user will be getting connected to storefront and entering the user credentials, and storefront will be communicating to the delivery controller, and delivery controller talks to the site database and taking the information and launching the desktop. This complete information the delivery controller passed to the local database. So now the user, which desktop is connected, what is the information, what is the connection type, connection information, everything will be updated in the local DB. In case if the site database is down, the user is connected to the storefront and storefront is connected to the delivery controller and enumerating the sessions, and the user information will be verifying with the site database is down, then will directly connect into the local DB and local DB giving the information, and based on that virtual desktop is get connected. So your work is not interrupted and the local host cache is in place. So that's it guys. So the overall local host cache, what is importance? So what are the site databases, like a site database, monitoring database, logging database, roles and responsibilities? Any other question?
Sir, I think almost all looks good.
Right? So please make a note down some important questions in interview, like some Google, and get some information, questions, and we will discuss in the second meeting. Okay? And make sure in the next class, everybody, you need to create one Windows 2016 operating system. Okay? One Windows 2016 operating system. I'll give you the format. This format you need to create. Okay? Without fail.
Simply a server, right, sir? Simply a VM.
Only one server for every one server you need to create. I'll give you the server configuration, server name format.
Okay, please, sir. Yeah,
Right?
we will take it.
You please follow that guidance. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, sir.